the lens, and the size is bigger and not as soft as the conventional soft contact lenses. So you do not need the back surface toric. So that is why they have either spherical or front surface toric design. In that case, all the contact lenses, they are spherical. But for patient prescription, you can prescribe toric as well. But those toric lenses will be front surface toric, not biotoric or back surface toric. Front surface spherical abrasions control. Since these are larger in size, so there are chances of abrasions as the lens size increases. The abrasion will also increase, so they have control the spherical abrasion. Precise edge left control, just like semiscleral lenses or corneal lenses, as we already discussed, you can control the edge left in cases of spherical soft row scale lenses. Prism ballast stabilization, that is, if you need toric lenses, toric prescription for spherical for row scale soft lenses, then prism ballast stabilization is incorporated. Reverse geometry increases as base curve flattens. So it has the reverse geometry, that is, as the base curve flattens, then the power of the base curve, the periphery, is also decreased. Trial set of row scale soft lenses it contains 8 lenses. Base curve range from 7.8 to 8.8 millimeter with a 0.2 millimeter steps. Diameter is 14.8 millimeter. Spherical power changes across the base curve range. Standard edge left 0. Material is Contamac GM Advanced 49. It is hydrogel. Water is 50%. Liquid blue visibility 10 and decay is 16. Prism ballast laser mark at the base of the prism, and central thickness is 0.3 millimeter. So these are the parameters of the row scale soft contact lenses trial set. Now
So
available जी
ये diameter एक ही होता है 8 lenses का.
आपकी आवाज कट रही है जी.
सर मैं कह रहा हूँ कि इनका डायमीटर सेम होता है, ये 14.8 ही होता है सब लेंस का.
नहीं, ये जितनी भी हमने ट्रायल सेट देखे हैं, इन सब का जो है वो एक ही आप ऑर्डर कर सकते हैं कि मुझे इस पैरामीटर्स का ट्रायल सेट चाहिए. ठीक है, जो कंपनी ने बनाए हैं वो रिसर्च बेस पे बनाए हैं कि मैक्सिमम को ये जरूरत पड़ती है. तो ये जो है ये ट्रायल सेट के हर एक ट्रायल सेट में आपको एक ही जो है डायमीटर वो मिलेगी जो उसमें है, ये रोज के सेमीस्क्लेरल में है और जो रोज के सॉफ्ट में है. जो रोज के केसी है उसमें जो है डायमीटर इंक्रीज होता जाता है एज द बेस कर्व इज गेटिंग फ्लैटर. लेकिन सेमीस्क्लेरल और रोज के सॉफ्ट में आपके ट्रायल सेट में एक ही डाया होता है, लेकिन इसी को आप चेंज कर सकते हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू द रिक्वायरमेंट कि आपको कितना डाया, अगर 14.8, 14.2 या 14.6 या 14.9 ये आप चेंज कर सकते हैं. अब कितना आप चेंज कर सकते हैं वो क्या है, वो ये है कि अवेलेबल पैरामीटर्स कितने हैं. तो 7 से बेस कर्व फ्रॉम 7.0 टू 9.2. अब यहाँ पे समझ आ रही है कि अगर आपको जरूरत है रोज के सॉफ्ट लेंस से, सो यू कैन प्रिस्क्राइब बेस कर्व फ्रॉम 7.0 टू 9.2. सो दिस इज द अवेलेबल पैरामीटर एंड दिस इज द ट्रायल सेट पैरामीटर.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Is it clear now? Similarly, the diameter for available parameters from 14.2 millimeter to 15.4 millimeter is available in 0.1 step standard. And standard is 14.8 millimeter. Now, here in the trial set, you will see 0.2 millimeter steps. Like you will have one lens with the base curve as 7.4. Then the second lens will be with the base curve as 7.6, not 7.5, right? But If you need in between these two, suppose in that trial set you have 7.4, you check the 7.4, then you observe that the 7.4 millimeter base curve is a bit tight, right? Then you check the 7.6 because in the trial set you have a 0.2 millimeter steps. Then you check the 7.6. So the 7.6 you feel that this is a bit loose. 7.4 is a bit tight and 7.6 is a bit loose, so you can add a 7.5. In the trial set, you will not have 7.5 millimeter base curve, but you can order for 7.5 millimeter base curve. Similarly, like in case of diameter, 14.8 is the average, the common, but you can order 14.2 to 15.4 millimeter in 0.1 step, right? And standard is like the most common are in the trial set, this is 14.8 millimeter. So spherical power, any power you can prescribe, cylindrical minus 0.25 diopter cell to minus 10 diopter cell in 0.12 steps. In the trial set, all the lenses are spherical. So after applying the spherical lens, you need to do reflection, and if you need cylinder for that particular patient, then you can prescribe cylinder with minimum minus 0.25 diopter is available and maximum minus 10 diopter cylinder is available with 0.12 diopter steps. Similarly, 5 edge left options are available: standard 0, standard flat +1, standard steep -1, double flat +2, double steep -2. We already discussed this. And axis ranges for the cylinder from 0 to 180 degree and 1 degree steps. Even you can prescribe 3 degree, you can prescribe 4 degree, you can prescribe 6 degree. Center thickness range from 0.2 millimeter to 0.6 millimeter, and standard is 0.35 millimeter. So you can increase or decrease the central thickness of the lens as well. And 6 monthly or annual replacement. Now, patient selection for soft rose care 2 lenses is very important. Those patients who have failed with GP lenses due to tolerance are fed. If GP lens fitting is not optimum or the patient cannot tolerate GP lenses, you can prescribe rose care soft lenses. Typically delivers a higher level of comfort than most GP or hybrid lenses. Since these are soft as compared to GP lenses, therefore they are more comfortable as compared to GP lenses. First time contact lens wearer with the irregular cornea. If a person he wants to use the contact lenses or the visual acuity cannot be improved with the RGP lenses or with the prescription, glasses prescription, you can advise soft contact lenses. Or even if the visual acuity is getting improved with the RGP lenses, but the patient is first time wearer and the patient says, no, I cannot do this, I cannot handle RGP lenses, these are hard, are difficult, and the patient is already used to soft contact lenses, then you can advise rose care soft lenses. Or even if the patient is not used to any type of contact lenses and the patient feels that he or she is not able to handle the RGP lenses, then you can prescribe the soft contact lenses. Early to moderate irregular corneas. In severe irregular cornea, in advanced irregular cornea, usually the soft RGP lenses, they do not work. In those cases, you need to go for the IC lenses or for the semiscleral lenses. But in cases of early or moderate irregular corneas, you can proceed for the soft rose care lenses. Monocular cases, in many monocular cases, they say that RGP lens is, if it is easy usually for patient, if to learn how to use RGP lenses if he or she is using for both eyes as compared to those who are using for one eye. So in case of monocular cases, if the patient is not willing for RGP, you can prescribe the rose care soft lenses. Patient currently using a piggyback system. because piggyback system is very old as compared to soft rose care RGP lenses. So if the patient is already using piggyback system, you can shift to the soft rose care lenses. Subsequent to corneal surgery, graft, LASIK, corneal ring cross-linking. Yesterday we discussed these things, as I already mentioned, that suppose if a patient has corneal graft, right, and vision is very poor, suppose he is one-eyed, or then visual acuity is very poor after graft. So in that case, if you want to apply PG lenses, the PG lenses are there for long duration, and the graft changes will occur in the graft with the passage of time. So in that cases, you can advise rose care soft lenses for the 6 months, so that you can improve his visual acuity or her visual acuity. And after 6 months, or you can prescribe these rose care soft lenses for 1 year. And after 1 year, the graft will be old, that will be stable. Then you can shift for the rose care PG lenses.
सर
जी
सर आपने कहा कि मोनोकुलर केसेस में आरजीपी लेंसेज नहीं ठीक होते, तो इसकी क्या रीजन है?
क्या मतलब, क्वेश्चन नहीं समझा
सर। आपने इंडिकेशंस जो भी बताई हैं उसमें लिखा हुआ है ना कि मोनोकुलर केसेस में हम रोज के टू सॉफ्ट देते हैं, फिर आपने कहा कि जो जीपी लेंसेज हैं वो मोनोकुलर केसेस में सही नहीं होती एज कम्पेयर टू बाइनोकुलर।
नहीं, मैंने ये नहीं कहा कि सही नहीं होती है,
कि मतलब
मैंने ये कहा है कि जो पेशेंट बोथ आईज पे आरजीपी लेंस यूज करते हैं वो जल्दी लर्न कर देता है, ठीक है, एज कंपेयर टू दोस पेशेंट हु यूज ओनली आरजीपी लेंस फॉर वन आई। मतलब उनकी डबल प्रैक्टिस होती है ना, जब बोथ आईज पे तो एक आई पे भी प्रैक्टिस हो जाती है, दूसरी आई पे भी प्रैक्टिस हो जाती है, तो एक दिन में उनकी प्रैक्टिस डबल हो जाती है एज कंपेयर टू दोस हु आर यूजिंग फॉर वन आई। जो लर्निंग है आरजीपी लेंसेज की, ठीक है, अप्लाई करना, रिमूव करना, इंजर्शन एंड रिमूवल, तो प्रैक्टिस पे डिपेंड करता है। अब जब एक अंक पे आप यूज करते हैं तो आपका प्रैक्टिस कम होता है एज कंपेयर टू इफ यू आर यूजिंग फॉर बोथ आईज, डबल प्रैक्टिस हो जाते हैं, तो वो जल्दी लर्न कर देते हैं। तो अक्सर ये मोनोकुलर केसेस जो होते हैं उसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम होते हैं कि वो आरजीपी लेंस को छोड़ देते हैं, इसलिए कि उनकी एक आई में विजुअल एकुटी बेहतर होती है। ये मैं शायद मैंने पहले भी आपको बताया होगा, अगर किसी ने ओपीडी में देखा भी होगा, एक केस है मेरे हमारे वो मस्जिद के मौलवी साहब के बेटे हैं, तो वो आया करते, तो वो मोनोकुलर केस था, उसको मैंने आरजीपी लेंस एडवाइस की, हालांकि मैंने अपने उसके, चूंकि हमारे मौलवी का वो बेटा था, अपने पॉकेट से उनके लिए मंगवाई मैंने, और वो लेंस वो यूज ही नहीं करता था। अब उसका क्या हो गया कि एक आंख में जो है उसकी विजुअल एक्विटी नॉर्मल थी, दूसरी आंख में जो है उसकी विजुअल एक्विटी वो तकरीबन 624 थी। मैंने उसको बता दिया कि भाई ये एक आंख पे आप जो है आरजीपी लेंस जरूर यूज करें, इसलिए कि दोनों आईज के इमेजेस सेम नहीं है। बट ही वाज नॉट यूजिंग। 1-2 हफ्ते तो उन्होंने किया, लेकिन वो ट्राई नहीं करता था उसको लर्न करने के लिए, इसलिए कि वो ज्यादा जरूरत महसूस नहीं किया। वो कहते कि मुझे इस लेंस से कोई फायदा नहीं हो रहा है, जितना मुझे नजर आते उतने ही मुझे नजर आ रहा है। इसलिए कि आपने अक्सर देखा होगा कि ऐसे केस आपको आएंगे कि एट द एज ऑफ 30-40 ईयर्स आपके पास आ जाएंगे और आप देखेंगे भाई उसकी तो एक आई ब्लाइंड है या एक आई जो है वो एम्ब्लियोपिक है और पेशेंट को पता ही नहीं चलता है, इसलिए कि दूसरी आंख तो नॉर्मल होती है। फिर उनको जब उसकी विजुअल एक्विटी इसी तरह कम एक आंख में रही तो फिर क्या होगा, स्क्वेंट डेवलप हो गए, तो उसको डबल नजर आना शुरू हो गए। फिर वो घुमा, उस दौरान में ऑस्ट्रेलिया गया था, जब वो घुमा फिर अब कुछ भी वो कहते कि बस स्क्वेंट हो गया, चीजें काफी अरसे तक मुझे डबल नजर आ रही थी। फिर उसी आंख में क्या हो गया कि हाइड्रॉप्स डेवलप हो गया। तो हाइड्रॉप्स के बाद वो क्या हो गया, वो कहते कि वो तो जख्म आए, लेकिन जख्म के बाद मुझे दो खत्म हो गए। दो इसलिए खत्म हो गए कि वो जो उसकी विजन थी वो काउंटिंग फिंगर पे आ गई हाइड्रॉप्स के बाद। तो अब उस पेशेंट की जो है, जब मैं आया वापस ही पे, तो यहाँ पहले हमने उनके लिखा कि अब ये प्रोसीजर लंबा हो गया, इसलिए कि अब पहले तो कार्नियल ट्रांसप्लांट करेंगे, फिर कार्नियल ट्रांसप्लांट के बाद देखेंगे कि स्क्वेंट सर्जरी करेंगे, फिर जो रिजुअल है उसके लिए लेंस भी अप्लाई करेंगे और साथ जो है प्रिज्म भी अप्लाई करेंगे, ताकि वो डिप्लोपिया को भी हम कवर करें। تو ماناکولر کیس میں نے بہت دیکھے ہیں کہ ماناکولر کیس میں وہ آر جی پی لینس یوز نہیں کرتے ہیں، اس لیے کہ ایک تو ان کو ایک آنکھ سے نظر بہتر آ جاتا ہے، دوسرے کیس میں جو ہے وہ ایک ماناکولر کو ہم دو مختلف ٹائپس میں لیتے ہیں، یہ ایک یاد رکھنا ہے. ایک ماناکولر جو ہے وہ یہ ہے کہ ایک آئی کو، جیسے ابھی یہ کیس میں نے ایکسپلین کیا کہ ایک آنکھ میں اس کو آر جی پی لینس کی ضرورت تھی جبکہ دوسری نارمل تھی. تو ایسے کیسز جو ہے آپ میکسیمم دیکھ رہے ہیں، یہ صرف آر جی پی کی نہیں ہے، گلاسز یوز نہیں کرتے ہیں کہ بھی مجھے اس میں کوئی فرق ہی نظر نہیں آ رہا ہے. میکسیمم پیشنٹ آپ دیکھیں گے کہ جس کی ون آئی ایمبلیوپک ہے، دوسری آئی نارمل ہے، اگر آپ ایمبلیوپک آئی کو گلاسز پرسکرائب کریں تو اس کو تو آپ پیچنگ ایڈوائز کریں گے، اسٹیپ بائی اسٹیپ وہ امپروو ہوگی. لیکن وہ دیکھ کے مجھے گلاسز میں کوئی فائدہ ہی نہیں ملا تو وہ یوز نہیں کر رہے ہوتے. تو سمپل گلاسز یوز نہیں کرتے تو آر جی پی لینس تو پھر بڑی بات ہے اس کے لیے کہ بھائی، تو اس لیے میکسیمم کیسے اس میں وہ آر جی پی کو وہ یوز نہیں کر رہے ہوتے. تو سافٹ لینس کی ہینڈلنگ بہت آسان ہوتی ہے، تو اس کیس میں آپ اس کو سافٹ لینس جو سافٹ روز کے وہ ایڈوائز کر سکتے ہیں.
ٹھیک ہے سر، تھینک یو.
کلیئر ہو گئی؟ اچھا، ایک وہ کیس ہوتا ہے کہ ون آئیڈ کیس ہے. ون آئیڈ کیس میں اگر آپ دیکھ لیں کہ بھئی یہ پیشنٹ جو ہے یہ آر جی پی لینس سے جو ہے، مطلب پیشنٹ الٹریٹ ہے، یا وہ اب ایک جیسے اب وہ جو کیس تھا جو میں آپ کو اپنے مولوی سے کہا تو اس کی دوسری آنکھ میں بھی کیراٹوکونس شروع ہوئی ہے، لیکن اس میں ابھی ہم نے سی ایکس ایل کرائی اور سی ایکس ایل نے بھی اس کو کنٹرول نہیں کیا، مطلب پروگرس وہ بھی کر رہے. تو اب اگر فرض کرے ایک پیشنٹ ہے وہ ون آئیڈ پیشنٹ ہے اور کیراٹوکونس ہے، سپوز دوسرے ہائی ڈراپس ہے اس کی وجہ سے گرافٹ ہو گئی، گرافٹ فیل ہو گئے، جو کچھ بھی ہو گیا، کہ مطلب اب جیسے یہ جو میں نے آپ کو بولا کہ اس کا ہو سکتا ہے کہ فیوچر میں اس کی اب جو سی ایکس ایل کے بعد دوبارہ سال ہو گیا، سال کے بعد بھی ہم نے وہ کارنیٹوپوگرافی کی تو وہ انکریز ہو رہا ہے، اور ایک آئی تو آلریڈی اس کی ہو گئی. تو اب اگر یہ کیس ہے، اس کی یہ گلاسز اور وہ کام نہیں کر رہی ہے اور یہ پھر بھی ریلیکٹنٹ ہے کہ آر جی پی کی بھئی یہ میں یوز نہیں کر سکتا ہوں، تو اس ون آئیڈ کو بھی سافٹ روز کے لیے جو ہے وہ آپ ایڈوائز کر سکتے ہیں، کیونکہ اس کی ہینڈلنگ جو ہے وہ ایزی ہوتی ہے ایز کمپیئر ٹو آر جی پی، اور پیشنٹ کی کمفرٹ زیادہ ہوتی ہے اس میں ایز کمپیئر ٹو آر جی پی لینس. تو اس طرح کے ون آئیڈ کیس میں بھی یہ آپ ایڈوائز کر سکتے ہیں. اسی طرح جو جی 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 بولو، آسک کوسچن.
سر وہ آپ نے ابھی پہلے بتایا کہ وہ ہمارے پاس صرف سفیریکل ہوتے ہیں اور ہم لوگ جو سلنڈریکل پرسکرائب کس طرح کرتے ہیں. سر وہ لائٹ چلی گئی تھی تو دوبارہ اگر ریپیٹ کر دیں.
یہ تو ویسے میں نے بتا دیا، یہ ڈیٹیل آ رہا ہے کہ کیسے ہم کریں گے.
اوکے سر، پھر ٹھیک ہے.
وہ ڈیٹیل آ رہا ہے کہ سلینڈر آپ کیسے کریں گے، وہ ریفلیکشن میں وہ ہے، وہ ذرا میں نے ایڈوانس میں آپ کو وہ صرف ٹائل سیٹ کے ایکسپلینیشن، پھر کس طرح کریں گے وہ آگے ڈیٹیل ہے. ڈونٹ وری.
اوکے.
So, patient with irregular kindness wearing conventional soft lenses or spectacles where the visual acuity is insufficient. So, in these cases, you can advise if the patient is already using soft toric lenses, but even with soft toric lenses, the visual acuity is not getting improved. So, you can advise soft rose scale lenses. Where a GP lens may be unstable, for example, sport. Like yesterday, a case. A sportsman came to me yesterday. So he was using RGP lenses, and RGP lenses fitting was good. It was not very bad, but just there was a little bit edge. Someone else has prescribed him the RGP lenses, but a little bit edge left was greater. So ACT was not applied to the patient, or edge left was not decreased. So he had problem with, otherwise visual acuity was 6x, centration was good, but his complaint was that sometime in the sport I lose, and this I don't remember exactly that how many lenses he lost during the sports. So this was the main problem. So in such cases, I advise him there are two options. One is so that we can prescribe other lenses with the steepening the edge left, because in these lenses the edge left is greater. So probably we can apply double standard decrease edge left. So one is that option, and the second option is the rose-case soft lenses. But one problem with the rose-case soft lenses is that these are expensive as compared to the RGP lenses. Why? Because of the duration. You cannot use soft lenses more than 1 year. Three types are available. One is for 3 months, one is for 6 months, and one is for 1 year. So this is the problem, because every year you need to replace, and these rose-case soft lenses, they are expensive. So this is the major drawback of rose-case soft lenses. But what I usually do, I do not prescribe to every patient the rose-case soft lenses. I only prescribe to those patients who, especially here, the last one. This is my priority. Subsequent to surgery, corneal surgery, graft, LASIK, corneal ring, cross-linking, because in these cases, you need to wait for a long time for the RGP lenses because of the parameters. The parameters will change. Once the parameter will change, then definitely you need to change the RGP lenses. So second, at the early stage, the risk of RGP lenses halting the cornea, it is much greater as compared to the soft rose-case lenses. So in these cases, usually I prescribe the soft rose-case lenses, and I advise the patient that it's okay, you will get better vision with these lenses, and after 1 year, we will proceed for the RGP lenses. So in such cases, soft lenses is very good. But in routine cases, you need to, this is better to let the patient understand that there is one problem with the soft lenses, because these are expensive and you need to replace every year these rose-case soft lenses. So you must explain this to the patient. Though the RGP lenses, it is initially difficult, but even they can work for 6 years and 8 years in many cases. So where a GP lens may be unstable, for example, sport, where a satisfactory level of vision can be achieved at the fitting with the best ferrocylinder overcorrection. In some cases, like even suppose the patient has keratoconus and cylinder is very high, right? Suppose in many cases you might have seen 8 diopter cylinders, 10 diopter cylinders, 6 diopter cylinder, and with the conventional RGP lenses, you cannot improve the vision to 6.6 or 6.9. And with Bexar biotoric design, you are doubting that how will I prescribe, because I do not have the kit for the biotoric, or that will take time, because every lens will take about 2 months in Pakistan to order for single lens. So it will take much more time. So in such cases, if the cylinder is high and you are doubtful about the conventional RGP lenses, the rose-case RGP lenses, then you can proceed for the rose-case soft lenses, and you can put the cylinder even up to 10 diopter. So in such cases, rose-case soft lenses are the better option. Contraindication to fit when a satisfactory level of vision cannot be achieved with rose-case soft lenses. So if you cannot achieve a satisfactory level of vision, then you should not proceed for the rose-case soft lenses. Now, fitting procedure, the same 5 steps: base curve, a central fit, peripheral fit, diameter, location, and movement. So these 5 steps, you must, when you are assessing a patient, you just figure out that my little finger is base curve, my second finger is peripheral fit, my third finger is diameter, my fourth finger is location, and my fifth thumb is movement. So you should, just like tasbih, you should check 1, I did, 2, I did, 3, I did, 4, I did, and 5. So this should be your sequence, these 5 steps. And these 5 steps should be on your fingertips, on your 5 fingertips. So this is, if you follow this, these 5 steps in the sequence, then definitely you will have no problem with fitting the RGP lenses. So, step 1, base curve or central fit. Selection of the first trial lens, keratoconus and corneal insert. Select a BC of 0.8 to 1 millimeter flatter than the average case or 3 millimeter same case. So for keratoconus and corneal insert, you need to select 0.8 to 1 millimeter flatter. In cases of other RGP lenses, we usually select from, in some cases, we already explained in detail, if the average K is between 6 and 7, then we select on the average K, the first trial lens. If it is greater than 7, then 2 millimeters steeper. So similarly, in here, in this case, in case of rose case soft lenses, the for keratoconus and corneal insert, you need to select base curve from 0.8 to 1 millimeter flatter than the average K, or the 3 millimeter same case. For post-graft PMD and LASIK, you need to select a base curve equal to the average K or 3 millimeter same K. So initially choose the base curve which gives the best fit. So first, the central fit. So you need to select the base curve first. Allow the lens to settle for 3 to 5 minutes before assessing the initial fit. It takes time. So usually for the semi-scleral lenses and for the rose case soft lenses, you need to be patient. You need to give time 3 to 5 minutes before assessing the initial fit. Ideal movement approximately 1 millimeter on blank. Excessive movement may indicate the BC is too flat. Insufficient movement may indicate the BC is too steep. So if movement is greater, then you need to steepen the base curve. If the movement is insufficient, then you need to flatter the base curve. There should be no significant decentration on upward gaze. Laser mark within 20 degrees of 6 o'clock position. So here in the rose scale lenses, as I explained, the prism ballast design, they have incorporated so that the lens can come, the prism can come at the 6 o'clock, and there is also a laser mark. So laser mark should be within 20 degrees of the 6 o'clock. We will discuss this later. If the laser mark is greater than 20 degrees, then you need to inform the manufacturer about the laser mark so that they can adjust the axis. There should be no scleral indentation on the removal of the lens. If you remove the lens and there is scleral indentation, it means that the lens was tight. Lens should be comfortable. No floating. This may indicate the BC is too flat. If the lens is floating, it shows that the lens is flat. You need to try a steeper base curve lens. Fitting tips: fit as flat as possible. Flatter lenses often give better visual acuity. But the movement centration, these should be optimum. So if the movement and the centration are optimum, the dia is optimum, then flatter is better than the steeper. Once the best fit has been attained, check that this is the optimum BC to give the best vision. To test this, how will you test that this is the optimum base curve? With lens in situ, squeeze the lids very tight. Tell the patient, when the lens is on the eye, tell the patient to squeeze the lid very tightly and then open. Then, on opening the lens, if visual acuity immediately better and then deteriorates, suppose, tell the patient, squeeze the lids very tightly and open the eyes. Then, once he opened the eyes, then you ask, the visual acuity is better, getting better soon and then deteriorate, or it is getting better after a long time. So if visual acuity is immediately better and then deteriorate, it means that the lens is tight. So try for a flatter base curve. If the flatter lens becomes too loose, but the vision improves, use a decrease left to tighten the flare. So there are two options that if visual acuity is immediately better and then deteriorate, then one is try the flatter base curve. If suppose you try the flatter base curve, but what happens with the flatter base curve? The lens is not too loose, but the vision is improved, but the movement is greater. Though the visual acuity improves, suppose from 6.9 to 6, but you feel that no, the movement is not optimum. Movement is greater. So in such cases, what will you do? Use a decrease left to tighten the fat. Instead of steepening the base curve, you decrease the edge left. So this will also tighten the fat. Number 2, if visual acuity is worse and slowly improves, it means the lens is flatter. Then try for a steeper base curve lens. Now coming to step 2, peripheral fat. Once you get the optimum central fat, then you will proceed for assessment of the peripheral fat. The peripheral fat can be independently adjusted to tighten or loosen the overall fat. 5 peripheral fat options are available. Standard 0. With the trial set, the peripheral fat is standard, that is 0. Standard increase +1 and double increase +2. Increase means you increase the BOZR of the periphery, not the radius curvature of the periphery. So to get it looser, to get it flatter, so you will add, suppose it was 6.8, then you with 1 add, it will be 6.9. Increase with 2, it will be 7. Similarly, standard decrease, if it is flatter, then you need to decrease it to make it tight by -1 and double decrease by -2. So in case where the vision is optimal, but the overall fit is tight, no, suppose you assess the vision, you did assess the central fit, this was okay. You assess the peripheral fat and you say, though the visual acuity is 6.6, but the overall fit is tight, movement is not optimum, then what will happen? A small bubble may trap at the limbus. There is, you see a small bubble at the limbus. It means that the bubble is not going out, so the lens is tight. Lens will show little or no movement on blinking. If the lens shows no movement on blinking or very little movement on blinking, it means that the lens is tight. So bubble is not coming out, it means lens is tight. Movement is not optimum, it is very little, it shows that the lens is tight. Blanching of conjunctival blood vessels which are under the lens, you see that though blood vessels outside the lens, they are red, they are inflamed, but inside the lens, blanching is there, you cannot see. This means that the lens is tight. Scleral indentation can be seen on the mole. You remove the lens and so for every phenomenon, once you remove the lens, the scleral lenses that may be semi-scleral RGP lens and there may be soft lenses, immediately check the scleral indentation. If the scleral indentation is there, it means the lens was tight. So after several hours of wear, limbal injection may appear. With the tight lens, after several hours of wear of the lens, limbal injection may appear. The patient may complain of a dry feeling because tear exchange is not optimum, so the patient will feel dry feeling. Initial comfort is normally excellent but deteriorates. If the lens is tight, then if the patient says that I'm feeling dry, the eyes are feeling dry, or the initial comfort is normal but then deteriorate, and wearing time will be reduced, laser might be rotated but stable, then order increase edge left. So in such cases, It shows that the lens is tight and you may order for increased edge left. In cases where the vision is optimum but the overall fit is loose, then what will you do and what will you see? Lens moves excessively on blinking more than 1 millimeter. You assess the movement of the lens and you observe that movement is greater than 1 millimeter. It shows that the lens is loose. Laser line is not stable within the 20 degree of 6 o'clock. Laser lines, it moves away from 6 o'clock more than 20 degrees to one side or the other side. It means that the lens fit is loose. Lens decenter excessively down, particularly on upward gaze. If you tell the patient to look up, the lens is decentered down excessively, then it means that the lens is loose fit. Lens may float in one quadrant, usually lower quadrant. The lens is coming to one quadrant, centration is not good, so it shows that the fit is loose. Lens is uncomfortable on insertion and does not settle. Because the loose lens, it will hurt the eyelid margin and it will move on the eye, so the patient will feel uncomfortable. Then order a decrease edge left. If you decrease the edge left, then the lens will get tight. Loose lens often causes the laser line on the lens to locate away from the 6 o'clock position, usually temporarily. If the laser mark is, they say, is greater than 20 degrees from the 6 o'clock and it is temporary, so it shows that the lens is loose. Now, in step 3, coming to the diameter. Diameter of the soft rose scale lens, the selection of diameter of the soft rose scale lens is just like the conventional soft lenses. Lens should be approximately 3 millimeter bigger than the horizontal visual iris diameter. Just like in case of conventional soft contact lenses, the diameter should be 3 millimeter greater than the horizontal visual iris diameter. That is, it should extend 1.5 millimeter on one side of the limbus and 1.5 millimeter on the other side of the limbus. Diameter changes larger or smaller cornea. If the cornea is smaller, you may need the smaller dia. If the cornea is larger, you may need the larger dia. Larger to improve stability and centration. So, increase the diameter will improve the stability of the lens and will improve the centration of the lens. Smaller to increase the movement. If movement is not optimum, it is less, then you can decrease the diameter, so it will improve the movement. Now, step 4 is location. The lens should not decenter down significantly, particularly on upward gaze. So, in every rose case soft lenses, just like in cases of semi-clear lenses, you need to tell the patient to look up and blink, and you see the movement of the lens. To improve location, what will you do? Decrease the edge left. If you decrease the edge left, then the location will be improved and the lens will get centered, or increase the diameter or steepen the base curve. It depends that for which one you can go. Like suppose steepen the base curve. If already the base curve is steep, so you should not go for steepening more the base curve. You should go for the decreased edge left. So you can take any one of these steps, or you can take combination of these steps to improve the location of the lens. Avoid excessive decentration on upward gaze. Lens laser mark rotates temporarily, order a decreased edge left. So if the laser mark rotates temporarily, it means the lens is loose, so you order for a decreased edge left. But the lens should not move away from the center. Step 5, movements of the lens. Lens should move approximately 1 millimeter on blinking, considerably more than a disposable lenses. In case of disposable lenses, the lens movement will usually be considered 0.5 millimeter, but here we consider 1 millimeter. To increase the movement, what can you do? Increase the edge lift. If you increase the edge lift movement, you will increase the lens movement. If you want to increase the lens movement, then one of these steps or two of these steps you can take, that is increase the edge lift or decrease the diameter or flatten the base curve. So these are for increasing the lens movement. If you want to decrease the lens movement, then what you need to do? You may decrease the edge lift to decrease the lens movement, or you may increase the diameter to decrease the lens movement, or you may steepen the base curve to decrease the lens movement. So you can do any one of these, or you can do a combination of one or two of these. Now, ideal is approximately 1 millimeter on blanking. Note that how easily lens returns to primary position. So this is not only 1 millimeter movement on blanking. Along with the 1 millimeter movement, you should note that how easily and how quickly the lens return to the primary position, or how quickly the lens gets centered. So this is also important. If lens movement is 1 millimeter, but it takes minute to come back, then this is not the optimum. So this is just a summary. So select the initial lens based on the keratometry, leave to settle for 5 minutes. So in Rosquet soft lenses, it is good if you can have kinetopography, but even on the basis of the keratometry, you can advise the Rosquet soft lenses. So then the first step, what you did, select the initial lens based on the keratometry and leave the lens to settle for 5 minutes. Do not quickly assess the visual acuity and everything. You need to wait for 5 minutes. Now, after 5 minutes, this is when you assess that yes, this is the optimum fit. Then you assess the movement. If the movement is greater than 1 millimeter of fluting, then select a steeper BOZR. If the movement is less than 0.5 millimeter or indenting on the conjunctiva, then select a flatter bacopic zone radius. Then suppose the movement is between 0.5 and 1 millimeter. You either change the lens or the same lens, and the movement is between 0.5 to 1 millimeter. So it means that the movement is also optimum. Lens assessment centration, everything is optimum. You assess the movement. Movement is between 0.5 to 1 millimeter. This is optimum. Then what will you do in the third step? Over refraction. If visual acuity better immediately after blank, select the lens with flatter BOZR. The patient says after blank, the visual acuity improves, but then deteriorates. So it means that the lens is tight. So what you do? Flatter, select, go for a flatter BOZR. If the patient says visual acuity better on prolonged staring, patient says that as I open the eyes, visual acuity initially is not good and it takes time to improve. It is 6:12, then after a few seconds, it goes to 6:9, and then it goes to 6:8, and it takes long time. It means that you need to select the lens with the steeper BOZR. The lens is loose. No, you did these changes, the required changes, and visual acuity is stable. Then next, what will you do? Check for the coverage. If it is greater than 2 millimeter beyond the limbus, then consider a smaller dia. You decrease the dia or you order for a smaller dia. If it is less than 1.5 millimeter beyond the limbus, or if decentered, then consider large dia. If the lens is decentered, then you increase that dia, the lens will get centered. Or if it is less than 1.5 millimeter outside the limbus, it means the dia is smaller, so you increase the dia. Order a BOZR giving best stable visual acuity and modify periphery to achieve optimum movement and centration. So BOZR selection is for the visual acuity. If you select the optimum BOZR, then visual acuity will be optimum. and modify the periphery to achieve optimum movement and centration. So for movement and centration, you need modification in the periphery. For visual acuity, you need modification in the BOZR. So BOZR is directly related with the visual acuity, and movement and centration is directly related with the periphery of the lens. Clear? I think sleeping.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So it's all dynamic assessment, not static. We don't use fluorescein.
Statics, we already discussed. The first is the static. But this is like the latest, as I already mentioned, that some people say what is dynamic and what is static. So dynamic and static, these are for the learning purpose, right? And these are what I have already told you, that what I will do, this is like a guide for the fitting. So it will be difficult for you to keep it in mind that first I should do the dynamic, what is that dynamic and what is the static, so you will get confused. So I already told you there's these 5 steps on 5 fingers. You have 5 fingers, you have 5, come, going back, this. So if you learn these 5 steps, you do not need to consider either it is a dynamic or it is a static, because in that you will confuse, first I should do the dynamic or first I should do the static. So the latest we consider these 5 steps. What should you do first? First is the base curve, right? Like suppose I will show you the movement, as I already discussed, that here I'm coming back to that. This. Now the movement is approximately 1 millimeter on blinking, right? Now on blinking, this is the dynamic, right? But note that how easily lens returns to primary position. Then at this stage, the patient will look straight and you will see. Now, how will you label this? Is this either the dynamic or this is the static? Because at this stage, you tell the patient to look straight. So the eye is static, but the lens is dynamic. While in case of the movement, when we say this is 1 millimeter on blinking, so in this case, the eye is also dynamic and the lens is also dynamic, the movement. So this is a little bit confusion is there. So for learning purpose, you must learn what is dynamic, what is the static, right? But in cases of fitting, these 5 steps are very easy and you can learn these 5 steps on your 5 fingers. That first step, what should I do? Second, what should I do? And third, what should I do? And for each step, I have explained in detail. If you have any problem, then how will you proceed? Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, coming to refraction. So at the fitting, allow the lens to settle for 5 to 10 minutes before performing an over refraction, including any astigmatic component. So for Rosquet soft lenses, you should not be in a hurry. You need to wait for 5 to 10 minutes before performing an over refraction. Usually in clinics, what you should do, because it is very difficult for you to sit in front of a patient and he or she is looking at you for 10 minutes and you is looking at him or her for 2 minutes. So this is difficult. So this is not much that it should not be greater than 10 minutes. It is okay. You do the assessment, tell the patient to go outside, walk a little bit, right? And you check the other patient in their time. And after that patient, again, you call this patient. So if it is more than 10 minutes, it is okay, but it should not be less than 5 minutes. So usually in clinic, we say this, to wait for 10 minutes. But in clinic, usually it is difficult to tell the patient to sit in front of me for 10 minutes. So, and you just looking at him or he or she is looking at. So this is the easy way usually what I do, because you will not waste the time. You will save the time. In that time, you can check the other patient. And if it is greater than 10 minutes, it's okay. Number 2, auto-refraction over Rosquet soft lens is inaccurate and has later or no application for determining the correct one. So you remember, in scleral lenses, RGP lenses, auto-refraction is good. But in case of soft lenses, auto-refraction result is not very good. So in these cases, even if you do a quick retinoscopy, so the quick retinoscopy will just give you an idea, but after that, the best is then subjective refraction. And even for subjective refraction, you need to give the patient time, because in the Rosquet soft lenses, the patient blinking, it can change the vision, because if the lids are tight, it exerts more pressure on the Rosquet soft lenses, and it will press the lens, and once the lens comes to its original position, then the visual acuity will change. So you need to be very slow in cases of over refraction, and totally subjective. Refine check the refraction after 20 minutes to confirm the final fit and refraction. So here, once you did the refraction after 10 minutes, you got the optimum prescription, but even this is not the optimum. You need to do refraction after 20 minutes and perform the final over refraction with the lights on using a trial frame if possible, as pupil size can affect the final refraction. So usually in RGP lenses, anyone RGP lenses are semi-clear, the Rosquet soft lenses, I do not prefer the forerafter. I always prefer the over refraction with the trial frame. If over refraction has a cylinder greater than 2 diopter, place this in the trial frame and have the patient manually rotate the lens in the trial frame to choose the best vision. So, as I already mentioned, that if you are doing retinoscopy for a long time, in case of soft lenses, so the heat and the decreased blinking rate, it will change the parameters of the lens, and you may not get the optimum refraction. So mostly you should give time to the patient, and mostly you depend on the subjective, not on the objective. Rotate the lens away from the best vision, as ask patient to repeat the procedure 2 more times to attain the best acuity. So sometimes the patient will say at 10 degree, this is better. But then you change the X, and again, then this time he will say, no, it is at 20 degree, it is better. So even if you are not satisfied, you write all these findings with you, and you call the patient next time again, and again do the refraction. So Rosquet soft lenses, they are time consuming. Once the final cylinder axis has been established with the lights on at +1 and -1 diopter spheres, over this final refraction and a trial frame refined with +1. So you must remember, since this you are doing subjectively. Now suppose subjectively you did over refraction, right? And you put it +3 sphere. Then after +3 sphere, again you started the cylinder, right? And the patient opted, suppose, for a 3 diopter cylinder with 10 degree axis. You put it -3 diopter cylinder with 10 degrees. Then again you need to verify the sphere, because the first was spherical equivalent. Suppose you refracted me, first you applied the Rosquet soft lens on my eyes, and then you gave me lenses, and subjectively I did, and I opted for +4 diopter. With +4 diopter, the visual acuity is suppose 612. You put it +0.5 over 8, like +4.5. So I say, no, this is worse. The +4 was better. Then again, you put it -0.5 on my eye in the trial frame, and I say, no, again, this is worse. +4 is better. So you reach to the conclusion at this time, that plus 4.5 is worse, plus 3.5 is worse, and plus 4 is the better. So what is this plus 4? This plus 4 is actually spherical equivalent. This is not the sphere. It includes the cylinder. Now, after this, what you did? You put it, suppose, cylinder, and I was better with minus 3 diopter cylinder. Right? So if I was better with minus 3 diopter cylinder, then again you need to check the sphere. This is must. Because the first plus 4 was spherical equivalent. That include the cylinder as well. But now you put a cylinder on me, so the first was spherical equivalent. Now again you need to refine the spherical. So this is must. Number 8, any
This is must
inability
in
to
every-
attain.
Sir,
Ji,
so
ji.
this is must in every case. Why we?
In every case, as well as in refraction. These are the steps in the refraction. Just are like we usually advise the subjective refraction, how to do subjective refraction. Verify the sphere, then verify the lens power, then lens axis. First verify the sphere, then verify the lens axis, verify the lens power, then again come to verify the sphere. This is even for simple refraction.
Sir, in sphere we use spherical equivalent. Why not just sphere?
Because you did subjectively.
And then again we use cell.
One, like first you did, I already explained, suppose I need, let me make it clear for you. Suppose I need minus 3 diopter sphere with minus 2 diopter cylinder. This is my refraction. Are you getting me? I need
Yes, sir.
minus 3 diopter sphere with minus 2 diopter cylinder. You write this with you, minus 3 diopter sphere and minus 2 diopter cylinder. This is, suppose you did retinoscopy or you did autoref, right? But no, this is one case. In second case, suppose a patient come to you or I come to you and I do not have my prescription, right? You do not have autoref, you do not have retinoscope, you just have refraction box, and you are doing the subjective refraction and putting minus lenses in my trial frame. So what do you think? With which lens I will get optimum vision? With the sphere lens. My refractive error is minus 3 diopter sphere with minus 2 diopter cylinder, right? And I comes to you, you do not have cylindrical lenses, suppose you do not have retinoscope, you do not have autoref, and you just started with the sphere lenses. So which lens I will get the optimum vision with the sphere? The spherical equivalent.
Or what's
minus
spherical
four.
It
equivalent?
is minus 4,
4.
right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
I will feel better with minus 4. Now, suppose you got cylindrical lenses and you started the cylindrical lenses, but as you put the cylinder lenses, what will you do? The spherical, because my actual sphere was minus 3. So you will decrease the sphere now. So if
Yes,
you
sir.
put it minus 2 diopter cylinder, then again you need to go for minus 3 diopter sphere instead of minus 4 diopter sphere. So first
Yes.
sphere, you adjusted the best sphere. That sphere was subjectively, you did it subjectively. So subjectively with the spherical equivalent, the patient will feel better. Why? Because spherical equivalent is the verges of the center of least confusion. So with the spherical equivalent, you put it the center of least confusion on the retina and the fovea. So that is why the patient visual acuity is better as compared to before. But if you put the cylinder, what we do with the cylinder? We shrink the conized term. And the two focal lines, we used to bring it closer to each other and put it on the retina. So first you confirm the sphere, then you confirm the cylinder axis, third you confirm the cylinder power, and fourth, again you confirm the sphere, again you refine the sphere. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
And axes have been established with the lights on at a +1 diopter and -1 diopter spheres over the final refraction and trial frame, and then refine with +0.5 and -0.5 diopter sphere. Is it clear now? An inability to attain acceptable vision at fitting is contraindication for proceeding with the fitting. If visual acuity is not optimal, again it is like 618 partial 624, so do not proceed. Laser mark should locate within the 20 degree of the 6 o'clock. If laser mark consistently locate either nasally or temporally, this must be compensated for or shown in the order so the lab can make the compensation. If the visual acuity is good, the fitting is good, but you think that the laser mark is located more than 20 degree to the right or to the left, then you need to show this in the order so the lab they can make the compensation for it. Now, at the dispense, allow the lens to settle for 5 minutes and perform an accurate spherocylinder over refraction. Again, you need to wait for 5 minutes more. Record this result and dispense the lens. Now, first follow-up examination. Once you applied the lens on the patient cornea, what this is the final lens. The lens arrived, you give to the patient is now using. So first follow-up should be 2 weeks. So at first follow-up, ensure the patient has worn the lens for at least an hour and perform an accurate spherocylinder over refraction. So if the patient comes to you with the lens in his hands, then do not do refraction just to put the lens and do refraction. No. You tell the patient to put the lens on your eye, wait for 1 hour, and after 1 hour, you perform an accurate spherocylinder over refraction. If this over refraction is the same or similar to the over refraction recorded at the dispense, then okay. This means that the lens is okay. New lens power can be added if the over refraction is significant. No, if the over refraction and the visual acuity changes, it improves with it 1 or more than 1 line second. Over refraction is significantly different to the over refraction recorded at the dispense. Perform a further over refraction at least 3 days back. That if suppose you say no, this is over refraction is now +4 diopter or +3 diopter, then at this time you are confused. So do not do anything. You just note today over refraction and tell the patient to wear the lenses. And next, after 3 days, call the patient back and tell the patient to wear the lens at least 1 hour and even greater than 1 hour, 2 or 3 hours. If on the third visit you need to call the patient for reconfirmation, tell the patient to wear it for more than 1 hour and come back after 3 days and then do assessment. 2 similar over refraction must be recorded at subsequent examination before any lens power is ordered. So do not do like this. If you order the lens to the patient, right? Patient comes to you, you applied the lens, tell the patient, go back and come after 2 weeks. The patient comes after 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks, there are 3 possibilities. One is there is no over refraction, or just ±0.25. So it is okay. If it is just ±0.25, it is okay. And tell the patient, go, it is good. Second, but you need to tell the patient at least to wear for the follow-up visit 1 hour before the assessment. No. If you say that after 1 hour you check and the over reflection is, you can say, about plus 0.75 or 1 diopter, and after 20 or 30 minutes you do it again and again it is the same, then okay, you can proceed for the new lens. But if the over refraction is 3 or 4 diopter minus or plus, it means there is a greater change. So you should not proceed for this, for the second lens with this. You need to call the patient 3 days, after 3 days back, and you again check. If again you check on this first follow-up visit, the over refraction was plus 4 diopter. After 3 days, the over refraction was plus 2 diopter. Then even then you do not order. If on the second follow-up, the over refraction is again plus 4 diopter, that is with the 2 consecutive visits, the same over refraction is, then you order. If with 2 consecutive visits, the over refraction is not the same, then call the patient for the third visit. And on the third visit, you again assess the over refraction. You must need to get the same refraction on 2 consecutive visits. So if you get the same over refraction on 2 consecutive visits, then you will order for a new Rosquet soft lenses. So 2 similar over refraction must be recorded at subsequent examination before a new lens power is ordered. Care system: use an alcohol-based surfactant cleaner because these lenses are thick and cleaning is must. After each wear, store in a peroxide-based system so that it cleans the lens better. Normal multi-purpose soft lens storage solution may not keep the lens clean. So digital rubbing is important for Rosquet soft lenses. No problem solving. If fluting is there, then what should you do? Use asymmetric kinetic technology to tighten the 1 quadrant of the edge of the lens, or steepen the peripheral fade, or steepen the base curve, or use a combination of the above. Start ACT 1.0. Use when fluting may not be apparent in the straight ahead gaze. If in the straight ahead gaze, movement is not apparent but become obvious when the patient looks up, down, or laterally, and the movement is greater, then standard asymmetric kinetic technology is applied. If movement is greater, then you tell that it should be Titan 1. Double asymmetric kinetic technology used when fluting is always obvious, even in straight ahead gaze. The lens is moving here and there, then you need asymmetric kinetic technology 2, grade 2. Asymmetric kinetic technology can be placed at any axis. If axis not stated by the fitter, the asymmetric kinetic technology axis will by default to 270 degree, the same axis as the prism ballast. So you need to mention in the order about the change of the edge left if you want to apply the asymmetric kinetic technology. Any question?
सर ये ऑटो कैरोटोमीटर जो हमारे पास के रीडिंग देता है, तो ये सही होती है के रीडिंग से या नहीं?
आप इसे ऑटो के इससे आप अंदाजा लगाएं कि ऑटो मतलब के रीडिंग अगर आप विद रिस्पेक्ट टू आरजीपी लेंसेज लेते हैं तो आपके पास एक फिक्स वैल्यू होता है और इसलिए कि आपको 0.1 में चेंज आना है कि भाई मैंने 0.1 या 0.2 मिलीमीटर स्टीप जाना है या फ्लैट जाना है. तो 0.1 एंड 0.2 मिलीमीटर बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है इसमें केटोमेट्री में. समझ आ रही है? मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूं कि हमने ऑलरेडी डिस्कस किया कि अगर बिटवीन 6 एंड 0 है 7 है सपोज, तो आपने क्या करना है कि 0.2 मिलीमीटर को स्टीपर एवरेज के ऊपर आप जाना है. اگر 7 سے زیادہ ہے تو آپ نے 0.2 ملی میٹر اسٹیپر جانا ہے بیس کر پہ. تو اگر آپ کو فرض کرے آٹو کیلومیٹر وہ دیتا ہے اور وہ آپ نے 5-6 ریڈنگ لے لی اور ہر ایک ریڈنگ میں 0.2 اینڈ 0.3 ملی میٹر کا فرق آتا ہے, تو آپ کس پہ جائیں گے؟ بات سمجھ آ رہی ہے؟
جی
آپ
سر.
نے 5 ریڈنگز لے لی, ایک ریڈنگ آ گیا 6.7, دوسرا ریڈنگ آ گیا 7.2, تیسرا ریڈنگ آ گیا 6.5. تو اب جو آٹوریف ان کی ایوریج لیتا ہے تو وہ تو اس میں جو 3 میکزیمم ایک دوسرے کے کلوز ہے اس کا ایوریج لے لیتا ہے. اب اس کو یہ پتا نہیں ہے کہ یہ جو 3 میکزیمم کلوز ہے یہ واقعی 3 آر کلوز ٹو دا کارنیل پیرامیٹر ایز ویل, یا یہ آپس میں صرف کلوز ہے. تو بہتر ہے کارنیل ٹوپوگرافی, کیونکہ وہ ملٹیپل ریڈنگز لیتے ہیں ہر ایک پوائنٹ پہ 1. اگر کارنیل ٹوپوگرافی نہیں ہے تو پھر سیکنڈ جو ہے میں مینول کو پریفر کرتا ہوں. اگر فرض کریں مینول نہیں ہے اور آپ کے پاس جو ہے آٹو ہے, تو پھر آٹو کو آپ کیسے جج کریں گے کہ اگر آپ کے 5-6 ریڈنگ آپ نے لے لی اور وہ ودن جو ہے 0.1 to 0.2 ملی میٹر رینج میں آ رہے ہیں تو یہ تو ٹھیک ہے, مطلب چل سکیا. لیکن اگر ان کی 5 ریڈنگ جو ہے نا اس میں جو منیمم ہے, جو سب سے اسٹیپ وہ شو کرتا ہے وہ 6.4 شو کرتا ہے, اور جو سب سے فلیٹ وہ شو کرتا ہے 5th ریڈنگ وہ 7.1 شو کرتا ہے, تو اب اس پہ آپ ریلائی نہیں کر سکتے.
جی سر.
تو اگر زیادہ آپ کو براڈ بینڈ دے کیروٹومیٹری کی آٹو ریڈنگ تو اٹ مینس کہ یہ ریلائبل نہیں ہے.
جی سر.
اور کوئی کوئسچن؟ جی
سر آپ نے بتایا نا کہ یہ سافٹ لینزز کی طرح کنفرنٹ نہیں کرتے نا کارنیا کی شیپ پر, جیسے ہمارے پاس یوزول سافٹ لینزز ہوتے ہیں, اور سیمی سیکلیرل کی طرح یہ بڑے بھی ہوتے ہیں. تو سر ان کا لیڈ کے ساتھ کیسے انٹریکشن ہوتا ہے؟
تو لیڈ کے ساتھ اس کے اگر آلریڈی ہم نے ڈسکس کی نا کہ پیشنٹ کی کمفرٹ کو آپ دیکھیں گے, تو لیڈ کے ساتھ اس کی انٹریکشن ہوتی ہے, لیکن بیٹر دین سکلیرل لینزز ہوتی ہے زیادہ, مطلب کیونکہ یہ صاف ہوتے ہیں لینز, اس پہ پریشر ڈال کے اس کو وہ کر سکتی ہے, وہ پریشر یہ برداشت کر سکتی ہے, تو اس لیے انٹریکشن جو ہے وہ کمفرٹیبل ہوتی ہے اس کی ایز کمپیئر ٹو آر جی پی سکلیرل لینزز. لیکن اس کے اگر آپ وہ ٹیکسچر دیکھیں تو یہ تھک ہوتا ہے ایز کمپیئر ٹو کنونشنل سافٹ لینزز کے, تو اس لیے یہ 100% اسی طرح شیپ ایکوائر نہیں کرتا کہ کارنیا کے اوپر ہی آ جائے. تو کسی حد تک یہ جو ہے یہ سلنڈر کو کور کرتے ہیں اگر بہت ہائی سلنڈر نو کنونشنل ہے وہ تو سلنڈر کو کور نہیں کرتے, لیکن یہ تھوڑے بہت سلنڈر کو یہ بالکل کور کرتا ہے. تو لینڈ انٹریکشن اس کی اچھی ہوتی ہے ایز کمپیئر ٹو سیمی سکلیرل.
اوکے سر.
اور کوئی کوئسچن؟ اچھا, یہ تو تینوں مطلب وہ ہو گئی, میں نے وہ کلینک پوائنٹس آپ سے تقریباً یہ کیٹوکونس مینجمنٹ آپ کی ہو گئی, روز کے لینزز کی ساری فیملی. اب کل سے آپ لوگوں کی وہ ہے, تو جس کی باری ہو وہ پریپیئر رہے.
ٹھیک ہے
ایسا ٹھیک ہے,
صحیح ہے سر, ٹھیک ہے
سر.
جی
سر یہ لائنس کا آپ نے بتایا, تو یہ جو ابھی ہم نے
اس سے ڈیفرنٹ ہے. اس میں یہ ہوتا ہے کہ آپ کو ایک تو یہ ہوتا ہے کہ اس میں آپ کو زیادہ ربنگ کی ضرورت نہیں پڑتی ہے, جلدی کلین ہو جاتے ہیں. اس میں تھوڑی سی ربنگ کی ضرورت پڑتی ہے کیونکہ یہ تھک ہوتے ہیں ایز کمپیئر ٹو کنونشنل سافٹ لینزز, تو اس لیے اس کو کلین کرنا پڑتا ہے. دوسری بات یہ کہ اس کے لیے جو پہ اب جینٹل سولوشن اتنا زیادہ جو ہے وہ ہائیڈروجن پر آکسائڈ ٹائپ کی ضرورت نہیں پڑتی ہے کلیننگ کے لیے, لیکن اس میں بہتر یہ ہوتا ہے کہ ہائیڈروجن پر آکسائڈ بیس سولوشن ہوتا ہے کہ وہ اس کو پراپرلی کلین کرے, یہ اس سے موٹے ہوتے ہیں. یہ آپ اسی طرح سمجھے جیسے گرمیوں کے جو وہ اسٹف ہوتی ہے جو آپ دھوتے تو آسانی سے اس سے میل نکل جاتے ہیں, لیکن جو سردیوں کے اسٹف ہوتے ہیں نا تو اس سے آسانی سے میل نہیں جاتے ہیں کیونکہ وہ کافی تھک ہوتے ہیں. تو یہ ایک لے مین ورڈ میں یہ آپ سمجھ سکتے ہیں اس طرح کہ یوں کنسیڈر کر کے گرمیوں کے کپڑے دھونے آسان ہوتے ہیں کہ سردیوں کے کپڑے دھونے آسان ہوتے ہیں. تو یہ روز کے سافٹ ویئر آپ سردیوں کے کنسیڈر کریں اور جو کنونشنل سافٹ ویئر وہ 10 ہوتے ہیں وہ آپ گرمیوں کے کنسیڈر کریں. جی جی
ٹھیک ہے سر. اور سر اس کا جو کٹ ہوتا ہے وہ بھی مطلب جو جس طرح RGP والا ہے وہ تو اسی طرح پڑے وداؤٹ سولوشن, تو جو اس کا کٹ آتا ہے وہ کس طرح ہوتا ہے, وہ سولوشن میں ہی ہوتا ہے؟
یہ میں آپ کو بتاؤں, ایک تو یہ ہے کہ RGP بھی آپ نے بغیر سولوشن کی نہیں رکھنا ہوتا ہے, یہ یاد رکھنا ہے.
وہ کٹ جو ان کا ہوتا ہے RGP کٹ وہ تو وداؤٹ
نہیں, کٹ تو ٹھیک ہے, کٹ کی
میں کٹ کی بات کر رہی ہوں.
اچھا کٹ کی جو ہے نا وہ تو ٹھیک ہے کہ اگر فرض کریں RGP لینس کا آپ اگر ڈرائی رکھیں, لیکن اس کی جو ہے یہ آپ جو اس میں رکھیں سولوشن میں, بہتر ہے کہ آپ اس کو سولوشن میں رکھیں کہ یہ کلین رہے. اس کی وجہ کیا ہے کہ اگر نیو آپ کے پاس یہ جیسی بھی ہو وہ تو ڈرائی ہوتے ہیں, اس میں کوئی مسئلہ نہیں ہوتے, لیکن جب آپ اس کو یوز کرتے ہیں, ٹھیک ہے, جب یہ آپ یوز کرتے ہیں تو یوز کے بعد یہ کیا ہوتا ہے ویٹ ہو جاتے ہیں. تو جب یہ ویٹ ہو جاتے ہیں تو پھر یہ سٹک ہو جاتے ہیں کیس کے ساتھ.
جی سر, ہر ایک ٹرائل لینس
جو جیسے یہ سیمی سکلیرل لینزز ہیں, ٹھیک ہے, سیمی سکلیرل لینزز جو ہے وہ اسی طرح جو ڈرائی پڑے ہوتے ہیں تو وہ اس پہ گند زیادہ جمع ہوتا ہے ایز کمپیئر ٹو RGP روز کے IC یا ان کے, یہ تینوں وہ ڈرائی ہوتے ہیں نا, لیکن جو سیمی سکلیرل ہوتے ہیں وہ بڑے ہوتے ہیں, اس پہ زیادہ سولوشن لگتے ہیں. تو جب آپ اس کو واپس رکھتے ہیں پھر آپ دیکھتے ہیں نیکسٹ ٹائم تو وہ زیادہ اس پہ گند پڑا ہوتا ہے کیونکہ اس کے ساتھ زیادہ سولوشن چپکا ہوا ہوتا ہے اور وہ ڈرائی ہو جاتے ہیں. اور کوئی کوشچن ہے؟ نہیں, اوکے, تھینک یو
سر. اللہ حافظ.
اللہ حافظ.